collecting stories is absolutely critical to the survival of a community. If those things don't come together and provide the history of what was, and then connects to what is now, then you certainly don't have a future.
When I came in the airplane. It was like a war airplane. It was two pieces of wood on each side, and then we came in that, and then they left off in Brooklyn. Yes, in New Jersey was, place is no airport. And then from there I came to El Barrio.
Well, to me, stories are very important because when I'm talked with my grandmother, and sometimes she's not really a very emotional or talkative person, but there's times when she does let things out, and when she does, I don't know, I appreciate it because it's nice to know how her life was and how her grandparents were, because she was a child, she was once my age, and I like to know that. I like to know the history of my family, so I think it's very important.
I think this process of the oral histories brings a certain level of self-reflection, and being a part of El Barrio, being part of the whole cultural scene here and the whole Puerto Rican diasporic experience, I think there's a lot to feel and think about, and so this is a way of it's an opportunity for that.
I think storytelling is important because you learn things that you don't normally share with someone, and when you tell a story, it's kind of like you share information that someone won't normally ask you.
We have to work hard here, When I came, I used to make $2.50 a week. And then I started making $15, and my husband was sick.
The only apartment Mommy could find that we could afford, because she was the only one working in the household, was on the 6th floor in a walk-up on 104th Street, 238 East 104th Street. And when my father came from the hospital and looked at all those stairs, I mean, part of his courage was that he didn't stir, and he had to be up there all day while Mommy went to work and worried about there being a fire and what was he going to do, But he would come down and get me at the nursery, which was a Union Settlement across the street. But that's what life was. When she talks about it was hard. It was hard.
El Barrio to me is my pueblo, my hometown. I mean, New York City in general is a series of neighborhoods. I don't care what you call it, Forest Hills, Williamsburg, whatever. It really is a series of neighborhoods, which I term hometowns for different people if you're there long enough. So for me, El Barrio, even though there may have been more Puerto Ricans in Brooklyn, El Barrio becomes the identity de la comunidad puertorriqueña.
So I felt a connection to New York City, but in particular, I mean, the history that East Harlem, El Barrio has, it really is the cradle of the Puerto Rican community. The history, the struggle, the toil, equality, justice, what the community was fighting for, the young lords, and the anti-poverty programs and bilingual education, whatever it was, there's just such a sense of history here, and that's the hope, is kind of like it inspired a sense of activism, it inspired progress to a certain extent, and that's kind of what we hope and I aspire, in the work that we do, is to kind of reinitiate that spark.
One of our goals in the work my goal in the work I've done always is to really put forth Puerto Rican culture and history as a way of basically showing how diverse and great that culture is.
I enjoy esa vida de la calle del barrio. It's the familiarity. I walk down the streets, I hear Spanish, English, whatever I'm hearing. I go to the bodega, I go wherever it is. That is life, and that is what El Barrio is. My hometown. I feel very secure. I'm not going to walk out in the streets at 3 o'clock in the morning, but I mean, I feel very secure in this community. I know the people. If you walk enough to the post office from my house, you meet the same people on the streets back and forth. This is my hometown.